Speaking of way too young, Paul Walker passed away. I think it was Friday. He passed away. And we talked about it a little bit before about it. It affected me. Not that I was crying about it, but it sort of hit me for some weird reason. And it didn't hit at all.
I think it's not that I'm cold or heartless. It's just that I have no real awareness of what it was he did or done. I saw the first Fast and the Furious, but it was. There is something strange, I think, as we get older and we see people that are our age or close to our age who start to pass away, and because it's odd, because it's not usual, and I think that's why this might have affected a lot of people. By all accounts, I heard he was a really nice guy who did a lot of charitable works too, which would really affect people. Like I said, it's not to be mean; just I don't know anything about him, so it's a shame. But I did see a lot of outpouring over it over the weekend.
I think it was one of those things. It was a combination of things. A lot of people grew up with them because you think about the first Fast and Furious movie was like 12 years ago. Like, it was a long time ago.
Sure.
So you have that. It was 2001, I believe. So a lot of people literally grew up with him. Like, every 2 years, you're seeing him in one of the biggest movies of the year. They've all been huge movies. And he carried the franchise. Vin Diesel, remember, left after the first one. He was like, I'm done with this. Vin Diesel thought he was going to be this big actor who was going to do a bunch of different roles.
Right.
After he did Chronicles of Riddick and Fast and the Furious. He didn't do any sequels after that. Remember, the next Riddick sequel just came out now, right? Or is it coming out? I don't know if it even came out. But anyway, that's just coming out now. And then he was done with the Fast and Furious movies for like 6 years after that, 7 years after that.
Yeah, it took them forever to get him back in.
But so Walker carried the franchise for the second one, and it survived. And 3 was totally different. And then he comes back for the 4th, Vin Diesel. So, but I think it was that. I think that's what affected people. Like, when he was people. He died when he was 40. And it's like, wow, he looked like he was like 25 in the first movie, 24. He looked so young. So I think that was a part of it. Like, a lot of people actually grew up with them. Like, think of people that are 11 years old, 13,
right.
seeing the first one, growing up with them, and now he's gone.
And that's the other thing. People who are younger than us, who maybe saw that. Yeah, sure. In cars and that sort of racing and that scene was big. And by all accounts, I've heard for a series of quote-unquote crappy movies, I've heard that a lot of the Fast and the Furious movies are fairly decent. So that...
What's amazing about it is the last 2 have gotten really good critical reviews. Like, so 5 and 6 are like, if you look at the trend of them, like the first one was okay, second one gets panned, third one's fourth one's but then it gets to the 5th one, like, wow, 5th is good, wow, 6th is good. Like they got the formula down for not just...
I hear they pay attention to their own mythology very well.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but back to him, yeah, so I could see why that would create an impact on a large number of people.
I mean, he was in a lot of other movies that, I mean, he was the type of person, I think, that acted within his range. So he wasn't trying to do, like basically like how Keanu Reeves was for a long time. Sure. Where it's like, I know what I am, I'm not going to try to overdo it, but I'll be well at what I do. So he wasn't trying to go over his head. Like you said, everyone said he was a really nice guy. He was involved with charity works. He was in Flags of Our Fathers. That was a serious movie. He was in Timeline. He was in a movie called Hours. It's supposed to be a really dramatic movie about a father.
Oh, I did hear about that one. Yeah.
It takes place during Hurricane Katrina, I believe. And so, like, the power goes out to, like, this hospital where his kid's on, like, life support. So he has to scramble to try to save the kid. So a dramatic role. So, and I think the other one that was supposed to be really good was Joyride. That not a lot of people talk about because it came out so long ago. But Joyride was one where it was like a thriller where, like, these people are on joyrides and all of a sudden there was this, like, maniac on the road who's following him trying to kill him. So, like, it's supposed to be a pretty good movie that, like, not a lot of people have seen, like, an R-rated movie. Yeah, they get, there's a trucker, is a psychotic killer who's after them on the open road from Colorado to New Jersey, yeah. So that was another one that he's credited for. It's, again, he's not acting outside of who he is.
Sure. So
it's a tragedy. That's all I wanted to say. It affected me more than I thought it would. Not that I was crying again, but it was just like, oh, come on. It's just like, it just sucks. There's no point to it, you know. And a fiery death, too, that was probably not fun. Hopefully it was instant. If you saw the pictures of the wreck,
I don't look at that.
Car was like this big.
Okay.
At the end, you know.